Hey guys, how's it going? It's Nav here from Still Jaden's mom. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Today I want to make a video about um, 10 ways to help a friend, might be your friend or somebody in your family who's recently gone through a baby loss, and you're wondering what can you do as a friend to help. And I've made some video about this topic before, but today somebody asked a question. So, if somebody's going through this loss, what are some things that I could do as a friend, um, you know, to remember to do long past after the loss has happened? So I think it's a really good question. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I am Nav, and as you can tell by my YouTube channel, this video channel I created as part of legacy for my son that passed away. His name is Jaden, and he passed away about 5 years ago now. And so I've made it my mission and my life purpose to create a legacy after his short life, and which is to share my experiences and tips to help everybody on this journey, so nobody is feeling isolated and alone. Um, so let's get into the video. The 10 ways that you can help your friend experience all their firsts after loss. And these are some ideas from my own life and also talking to other grieving moms. Um, and I'd love to hear your ideas in the comments. So if you have any ways that you got supported or a way that you would, help your friend out, let us all know, and then we can all kind of win along the way. So first is to, as a friend, you can set a calendar reminder for the big dates that may be hard for them. So for the grieving person, the calendar of the first after loss is an intimidating one. So you can imagine there's holidays, birthdays, celebration, events that remind them of their baby that's not there with them. And sometimes, this is something that I went through, is when a person is grieving, they feel hesitant, or they may be feeling hesitant to share the burden that they're feeling, and they just decide to hold it inside of their heart and just keep it very personal. And so, this is me, is what I do. And this is a tip I'd like to share with everybody is, if I know a friend is going through a difficult time or some sort of a big loss, or, loss of a baby, I put that date in my calendar right away. So because life is busy for me too, I forget, there's so many things happening, and it's normal for us to get super busy and forget those main dates. So um the calendar reminders are like annual reminders for me. So one of my friend, her son's anniversary, comes up, and my calendar reminds me a week before and then a day before, so I can put something together like a little care package, and then it gives me the nudge to reach out. So that's the first idea, is to use your calendar, whether that's online. I use a Google Calendar. You can also use a paper calendar, and then just transfer those dates every year. And I know some people do that for, family and friends' birthdays, so they don't forget. So this could be an additional date that you can put in. Second thing that you can do is send a text message or a phone call. Sometimes the simplest ways of supporting a grieving friend can be that text or that phone call, and it makes the biggest difference to the grieving person. And even during these crazy times of COVID and social distancing, if you can't drop by to see your friend, make sure you check in with them. Um, Give them a phone call once in a while and just see what they're going through and just connect with them. So, third idea that I have is you can send a handwritten card. I used to buy those, the 10 cards in a package, like with a beautiful picture, and I would just have them. And if my calendar triggered me that, or gave me a nudge that a big date was coming up for a friend, I would take out the card and just write a handwritten note. And I think, when we go look at our mail, I think it's really nice to have that card, with the colored envelope, and it feels really special to get a card these days, even just to say I'm thinking about you today, or your big days coming up, and I'm here to support you. It's just a very thoughtful and like such an affordable way to show that you care. Fourth way I would say that you can help a grieving friend during their firsts is to spend time together, and whether they're away or local to you. And because of COVID and social distancing now, I understand it's might be much harder to spend time together. So do it through Zoom. Zoom is a free online platform. You can sign up for free. They're offering you like 1 to 2 hour sessions for free, whereas before COVID, they used to charge for that service. So it's called Zoom, Zoom, and you can quickly set up an online meeting just through email. So I do those with my family and friends, or even if you have WhatsApp, you can do a video chat. Google also has Google Duo as an app that you can download and talk phone to phone. So there's so many different ways um, that you can connect. So it doesn't matter, obviously, the technology you use. What matters is how you can support your friends during their first, is to first know of the dates and then spend time together online. Um, Fifth way I would say is drop them a coffee. If they don't drink coffee, maybe a tea. If they don't drink tea, maybe kombucha. Like, it doesn't matter the drink, right? Drop them off a coffee or a treat, something that they like. So for me, I'm a big chocolate fan. I always say I have a big chocolate tooth, um, and so I remember for me one of the friends, I can't remember who now, but they dropped off. They came to see me and they brought me a cup of coffee, and and a friend came to visit and we went for a walk. And it was the month of when my son passed away in March, and she was saying, your first anniversary is coming up. Like, what are your plans? And just kind of her showing that care meant like the world to me at the time. And so the package doesn't have to be elaborate. I think even something small as like, I'm a Canadian, we have a store here called Starbucks. It's a coffee shop. Just to get a little cake pop from them, it's what you do to show care. But the gesture, they convey a lot of meaning. So that would be my tip number 5. Tip number 6 is, this is something that I think is really thoughtful to do, is because grief, when you first go through that loss, the first few months and even the first year, um, you get a lot of support. You get flooded with like a ton of support, and you almost can't digest it or take it all at that time. So this is right around the first anniversary mark, or the first Christmas or the first Thanksgiving. That's when, and there's no like strict timeline on when the loss settles in, right? Like, psychologists say that for most people, if they work through their loss and grieving process properly, it takes 3 to 4 months. For me, that's just not true. The second year is when I really felt the loss, but second year a lot of support had already dried up. So tip number 6 is bring your friend a dinner long past when all the other individuals have stopped bringing dinners. So, so yeah, it's a really great time to drop off a meal or send something to support them, because when the first anniversary is happening, guys, there is so much anxiety and depression can set in, and so much anxiety to get to that date. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel, and what that does is exhaustion and gives you just, it drains your energy. So you, at least for me, I didn't find that I had the energy to even cook or even get out of the bed some days. So getting that meal to face those first could be a really good idea. Number 7, I would say send a care package. Sometimes we're not near our close family friends who are going through loss. Then send them a package. Like, you can call, grocery stores. Many grocery stores will deliver flowers, balloons, some sort of like a little plant, or even like a fruit basket. Any kind of care package. So obviously, it helps to know what the other person likes or enjoys. And even if you don't know, care package just means that you care. You took the time to let them know that you are thinking about them. So send them a care package. That's my next number 7 tip. Number 8, I would say, is if you are local to them, and the first anything is coming up, first Mother's Day, first Father's Day, first Christmas, first Thanksgiving, any of the holidays, or even the child's that has passed away, their anniversary or their birthday if they passed away after living a life. um, think of something that serves them. So look at their life situation, and sometimes the best ways that you can help a person during their first year of grief, um, is just practical stuff. Like it could be a huge help to like cut their grass or do the yard work, or pick up groceries or do dishes, or watch the kids if they have kids and they're grieving. Um, so that would be tip number 8. Tip number 9 is, especially when holidays are rolling around. I remember the first Christmas after Jaden passed away was very difficult time for me. I could not enjoy like the festivities. My heart was so broken. I didn't feel like even wrapping gifts or buying gifts for my family friends. I was really down, and a very very the first holidays are just the worst. They're difficult time. And I find that during the holidays is when your grief will get really zoomed in. It's like it just comes and hits you like 10 times fold. And so think about those. So the tip is to check in with your friend during the holidays, right? Check in multiple times. They may not get back to you the first time, the second time, but just continue to check in, and just be very kind and compassionate. And it doesn't have to be a really long message, just like a simple one liner. So think about the Mother's Day, Father's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, even first day back, school for kids. I know a lot of moms will post, their kids' beautiful pictures of them going back to school, but for a grieving mom, that's a trigger, right? Because she doesn't have a child to send back to school. Or even Halloween, it can trigger emotions. So check in multiple times with your friends. That would be tip number 9. And tip number 10 is, let their individuality or individual circumstances dictate like creative supportive ideas. So what I mean by that is, like, if their baby passed away in a particular month, think of the stone for that month and get jewelry. For most women, they love jewelry, so get like a bracelet or a necklace with their baby's first initials. So for me, like, that would be a necklace with a J, or J with March gemstone, because that's when Jaden passed away, or that's when his birthday was. Or, this is extra creative if you really know the person, is find out what was mama's cravings during that pregnancy with the child loss. So for me, that is popcorn. When I was pregnant with Jaden, all I craved was popcorn, all different kinds of popcorn. So think about that person and about their pregnancy. If you know those details, what did they crave? So maybe bringing back that food to them might be a really good way to show care. So whenever I miss Jaden or think of Jaden, especially during the holidays, even still, and I think I will do this for the rest of my life, is I think of him in terms of having popcorn. So at Christmas time, there's popcorn around, but at Thanksgiving, I make sure that there's popcorn. And especially on Mother's Day, Father's Day, it doesn't matter, right? So, those are some 10 ideas on how you, as a friend or a support person, can help your loved one go through their firsts. The firsts are very hard, difficult time, and so I hope that this gives you somewhat of a guide. And if you have had experience with these ideas, or if something was given to you and you were really appreciative as a grieving mom, put those comments in the comments below. And if you like the channel and you want to support us in our mission, all you can do is hit subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And share it with your loved ones. Take the video link and share it as a resource, because that's the goal and mission and legacy of this channel. So thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.